Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Actually, it's very early in the morning where I am. I just had a very enjoyable exchange on AYV with, I think her name is Aminata Korma. She is the head or the director of Girl Child Network. I'm hoping that they're able to give us a copy of the segment. If you were able to watch it live, that's wonderful. Tell us what you think. But listen, friends, family, my name is Fwambe Sia Nyoko Amadou. It's I've heard so many different variations, so I always say I am just Sia. We announced yesterday breaking news that we had been approved by the Inspector General of Police for a granted permission. We went through all the procedures, the correct procedures that we had to apply for a pass to do a peaceful rally demonstration in front of Parliament tomorrow morning. These people are afraid. Oh, I don't know why they're afraid of little old me. I'm not even there. But anyway, they're afraid. They're still bringing us their traditional healers and medicine leaf women and calling them Sowes and trying to confuse everybody about the National Sowe Council. So once we started disseminating and sharing the announcement for the demonstration, and we had a very good idea that we're going to do it. And I'm saying this in English because I'm hoping the financiers of these FGM activists here, the financiers of Purposeful, the financiers of our cabinet ministers who are pushing for this anti-whatever Bondo bill. I want all of you to hear me loud and clear. I don't do anything in hiding. Everything I do is out in the open, and I own it. So we are law-abiding citizens, of course, unless the particular law, like this Child's Rights Act, Section 25, would certainly be against our conscience and against our ancestral laws. So we have no intention of even clocking that. But we have been given other instructions by the IG, and we're going to adhere to it. So we've already, we were mobilizing our women from all around the provinces. They're not afraid. They're not afraid. And so we're putting them on hold. But we know we are right. We have the law on our side. We have the Constitution on our side. We have the human rights laws on our side. We have the research on our side. We have a lot on our side, so we are not the least bit worried. I mean, this is one of those things where the intention of the Western donor countries, and I'm not even really blaming donor countries. It's the Western feminist organizations that have a lot to gain. Western feminists, especially, this is not, don't mean to be racial about this, but it is what it is. It's white feminists who have banked their entire raison d'etre. This is the white woman's burden to save brown and black women from FGM. So they're the ones who are really pushing this. They're the ones for whom this legislation means a lot. And it's very unfortunate. I'm talking to you, yes, Tostan. I'm talking to you, yes, equality now. I'm talking to you, yes, we are purposeful. And of course, UNICEF and UNFPA, they're just doing your bidding. But as I mentioned in the AYV interview with Ms. Koroma, that was moderated, I've forgotten his name, but, wonderful gentleman. Everybody knows. The UNICEF report 2024 is clear that female circumcision is on the increase. They attribute it to the rise in population. They can attribute it to whatever they want. But the fact is, right, no one is convinced. Practitioners are not convinced. They are not convinced that somehow uncircumcised women, right, are better off than circumcised women in terms of health, hygiene, sexuality. You haven't made that case. So now it's coercive measures. You haven't convinced us that we're mutilated and we're subjugated by our husbands and we're not enjoying sex, right? That, you haven't, convinced us of that. So now it's about using your power, your geopolitical influence, your financial influence. You know that Sierra Leone is a poor country and people will dance to whatever cause they need to get funding. It's just the way things are. I don't blame some of my anti-FGM colleagues. Times are hard. But the fact is, female circumcision is continuing. These efforts, campaigning, legislation, are driving the age younger and younger. So it's actually having the reverse effect. Parents, Anita Koromas seemed to think that she was making a point by saying that it's parents who are in charge. Now we comrade and they bring we picking them for Bondo. Of course. It's also we parents that have our boys circumcised. It's parents that make the decision. It's parents that put the Suez who are the practitioners in that of course they're the ones that require that their service. But mind you, Suez are not, Suez mean different things in different places. You have Suez who are the heads of the female heads of villages or lineages, and they don't practice any kind of circumcision. So, it's just letting everybody know and letting our NGOs and, UN friends know that your efforts are interesting. I know, we all know that there is no law in the world that is going to stop women from upholding our ancestral rights, RIGHTS and RITES, right? Just like, you would never, it's like going to Israel and telling them, they have to ban male circumcision, that they can practice Judaism without cutting. Go and tell Israel, go and tell Jews they can practice Judaism without cutting, okay? Before you come and tell us women, us Bondo women, us Kono women, when the basis of our society, of our civilization is initiation and circumcision. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. I'm going to do videos on, I hinted a little bit at it during the interview, but I'm going to talk about what circumcision really means symbolically, why the West is so against it, especially feminists. And now, it's competing against LGBTQ ideology. And before anybody starts, inboxing me that I'm, homophobic or whatever, I'm talking strictly about ideology and social structures and how our societies are organized and, the significance of gender in organizing our societies. And, it's our ancestors that came up with this sexual fluidity thing anyway. Anyway, I digress. This is all to say, Sierra Leone women are free to choose, our friends, followers, National Zoe Council. You know who you are. Well, just be a no waits, patience, more patience. And then they try chance. And they try chance. Okay.